Alright everyone, hello, good morning to Lessons-a-thon Day 3. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties this morning. So we were getting a late start today, but hopefully that shouldn't bother us. We have a pretty stacked schedule today. We'll talk more about it later, but right now as we're trying to get back on schedule, we're gonna pass it over to the first run. It's gonna be Rinbu with KonoSuba in the live, so take it away. And you are now live.
Right. Hello. My name is Rinbu, also known as Potato Hands, and this is KonoSuba in the live. Full name Konosurashi something. Long Japanese name. We just call it KonoSuba in the live. This is a game bundled with the first volume of the Blu-rays for the KonoSuba anime, which if you're a fan of anime, you've probably heard of this. This one is real popular. Probably the most popular comedy anime out there. Yes, this is a game that follows the first 6 episodes of the first season, and it's a pretty small game. It's made in RPG Maker, made by just one person. It's gonna be very evident. It's not the best game in the world, but it's interesting. So I hope you enjoy it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the run in 3, 2, 1, go. And the game is going to start with a kind of a longish cutscene. I think it's about 2.5 minutes. And we're just gonna have to wait. So yeah, this is the intro of the story. Basically covers the first episode. If you haven't seen KonoSuba, I guess you don't really have to worry because like the story is not the point of the anime. You can still enjoy it regardless. But yeah, the premise is this guy, Kazuma, is kind of a loser and he dies in a really pathetic way and goes to the afterlife, and this goddess makes fun of him. And then she decides to send him to another world. And she tells him you can bring one thing with you, and he decides to like take some revenge at her and bring her with him to the afterlife, or the new world that they're gonna be reincarnated in. And she's obviously not very happy about it. The only thing I have to do in this intro is make that selection there. Then my hands are free again. There's a dedicated button for skipping dialogue in this game, which is Control. And all you have to do is to hold down the Control key for pretty much the entire game, and it will skip everything. So I literally just put my phone on the Control key to hold it down for the whole duration of the run. I hope it doesn't count as tool assisted. Yeah, also I'm playing on the fan translation, which is technically not legal, but I'm just playing. I usually play on the original Japanese version, but for the purpose of this marathon, I just thought playing on the English version would make it a little easier to follow, I guess. Yeah, so the cutscene is about to end very soon, and this category is all quests. There are 36 of them in the game that we have to complete. And at the start of this run, I'm going to complete the 4 easiest ones. And I'm gonna ignore the rest because I can't really do the harder quests yet. Also, not all of them are unlocked. We have to like progress through the story first. A little bit of lag there. So one of the 4 easiest quests here is this bat killing quest. So there's gonna be 2 combat quests and 2 quests where you gather items. These bats are not very strong, probably the weakest enemy in the game. Even though we're at level 1, we don't really have any trouble dealing with them. Right, moving on. I guess I'll take the rat killing quest. So similar to bats, there are 5 sets of these guys. And again, they're not very strong. But sometimes Kazuma can miss, and that's annoying. Yeah. The list of quests you get for each day is kind of random. But sometimes you get the quests you need, sometimes you don't. And if you don't, you have to reroll. Alright, final set of rats here. Oh. I died apparently. And the rat just ran away. Sometimes you can win like that as well. Gonna skip the bath, skip the dinner, because they cost money. And the only effect they give you is raise your stats a little bit at the end of the day, which we don't really need. Alright, next quest. I'm looking for a specific quest this time. Didn't get it, so I'm gonna re-roll. Nope. Once more. Come on. I need Lumber Gathering, or Lumber. Lumber Gathering right there. This quest you have to cut down these pink trees and gather lumber. English is hard. And you want to avoid these battles because they're snakes, they're kind of strong and also waste your time. There we go. I feel like my game is probably lagging a lot right now. So I'm sorry if that's happening. Right. And the final quest is going to be Herb Gathering. Come on. Give me the quest. Oh, the RNG is not great so far. There we go. So this is the easiest quest in the game. You just have to collect these shiny things off the ground. They're supposed to be herbs. There we go. Very quick. Alright, and now we're moving on to this red quest on the bulletin board here, which is a story quest. So this is the famous toad scene from the anime. It's kind of funny when you watch it in the anime. In this game, it's not very funny. Basically, we just have to rescue Aqua from the inside of these frogs that swallow her. So the first half of this run is basically going to be just going through these cutscenes. Like the entire main story of this game is basically just cutscenes and scripted battles. And there's basically no challenge to them. The second half is actually going to be where we complete our quests. So all these story quests and cutscenes don't actually count toward the quest count. Yeah, this is Megumin, our new friend. She is very powerful. as you will see right now. She has this very strong, very powerful explosion spell that she can cast once per day, after which she collapses and cannot move for the rest of the day. So very strong and at the same time very useless as a party member. And understandably, Kazum doesn't really want her in his party, but she's gonna blackmail him into letting her join. And as our third party member, Megumin is actually going to be very important. Probably the most important party member in this run, at least. Because even though she can only use it once per day, her explosion is actually very, very strong. And we're gonna rely on her to destroy most of the bosses in this game. Just because her explosion deals that much damage. Now we just sleep until the next cutscene, and that's just going to be the theme for pretty much the entire first half of this run. This is another main character. She's not gonna join our party just yet. This is just like her first meeting with us. That's another cutscene, and we just keep on sleeping. Alright, I think this is the final day before the next cutscene. There we go. So this is where Kazama gets an adventurer card, using which he can learn magic spells. And here's Chris. She's gonna teach Kazuma a skill called Steel, which is also going to be important actually later on. We're gonna use it exactly once. And Kazuma is going to return the favor by stealing Chris's very precious thing. Alright, moving on. We just sleep one more day, and this old guy is going to teach us some more magic. And out of the 5 magic spells, or the 5 magic types that we can learn, I'm just gonna learn one, which is water, because it's going to be important later in the story. If you don't learn water, the final cutscene is not going to trigger, so it's very important to remember to do so. Right, and now I go into town, and there's a new story quest on the board. Again, we're gonna ignore the main quest for the time being, just focus on the story for the time being. This is so we're supposed to eliminate this very evil character right here. She's a lich, and she's actually one of the Demon King's generals, so she's very dangerous, but she's actually a very nice young lady, and she's going to be another very important character in this run. In the anime, if you've seen the anime, you may remember that she runs a shop where she sells some very weird items. But in this game, her items are actually very useful. They're gonna be very important later on when we fight a boss. Well, actually, her items are going to be useful against pretty much every boss. But especially the main one that we're going to fight after finishing the story. Right, sleep just a couple of days, and then go into Town Hall and trigger a cutscene where Kazuma discovers that there are no quests on the board for some reason. I don't think we ever get an explanation why, but Megumin just uses this as an excuse to bring Kazuma with her to the fields outside of town to practice her explosion magic. So as you may remember, she can cast exactly one explosion spell per day, and then she collapses, cannot move, so Kazuma's role in this is to bring her back to town at the end of each day. And this is going to happen 4 times, so this might take a while. So the route of the speedrun is going to be to finish the main story, after which we get a lot of money, and we use that money to buy some items from Wiz, the Lich girl, Demon King from earlier. And we're gonna use those items to defeat a special boss that's hidden in one of the quests. And that boss drops the strongest item, the strongest weapon in the game, which is called the Winter Shogun's Katana, and we're gonna use that item so we're gonna equip that sword, and it's going to make us very powerful, even at a very low level. Which means we don't have to like level up organically, like gather experience, improve our stats, stuff like that. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna go straight to the strongest weapon in the game, and it's just absurdly powerful. And that's just the fastest way to become strong in this game. So this Dullahan, he actually lived in the castle that Megumin was blasting her explosions at, so he's not very happy, and he curses darkness here. So she's gonna die in 7 days if we don't come and apologize to him. Except Aqua has the powers to expel that curse from Darkness's body. But the Dullahan doesn't know that. So now we just have to sleep for 7 days until he comes back. I hope I remembered to learn water magic there. Okay, I did. So if you don't learn water magic, this cutscene doesn't play, because water is very important in this cutscene. If you've seen the anime, you may remember why, but if you haven't, you'll see soon. So yeah, Dylan, his name is Verdia, by the way. He comes back, finds out that Darkness is not dead, gets very angry, and sends his army toward us. And this is our first battle as a party of 4. Now that we have Megumin, she can just take out all the nukes with her explosion. But now she is rendered incapacitated, and she would have been very useful in this fight against Verida himself. Thankfully, he has a weakness, which is water. This is why we learned water magic. And now we just wait for him to kill Darkness, or eliminate Darkness, and then Aqua finishes preparing her massive flood spell, which takes out Verdia and kills him, and that's the end of the main story of this game. So this is what happens after episode 6, I think, of the first season of the anime. The anime continues after that, but the game stops here. This is the end of the main story of the game. And roll the credits. Created by Tachi, very talented game developer actually, even though this game is very rough around the edges. I think he just simply didn't have a whole lot of time to polish this one. But it has a lot of really cool ideas. And really interesting battle system as well. Sadly just never reached its full potential. Yeah, now that we're done with the main story, the last batch of quests is going to be unlocked, and we're also gonna get a bunch of money, which we're going to use to buy some items from Wiz, and then go to the Snow Fairies quest. So this Snow Fairies quest is a kind of a bait and switch type of quest where at first you think it's very easy because you fight a bunch of like snowball like creatures that are very weak, but at the end there's a surprise boss fight against the Winter Shogun, who is probably the strongest boss in the game. And he drops the strongest weapon in the game, which is why we go straight to him. So I'm gonna go to Town Hall and I'm gonna re-roll until I get the Snow Fairies quest. I get it on the first re-roll. Very cool. So that's some good RNG compared to earlier. Now we go to Wiz. She sells a lot of cool things. We're just gonna need 3, actually 2 for this particular quest. I'm gonna buy 10 explosive potions. And then buy a paralyzed magic scroll. And then as many explosive potions as I can with the rest of the money. And now we're set for the Snow Fairy quest. So like I said, it's going to start with some very easy battles. Megumin always performs her explosion magic on the 3rd turn, and Kazama can only attack twice per turn, so when there are too many enemies on the screen, it means that Megumin will inevitably use her explosion magic. Which is bad because we need her for the boss battle. Which is why I'm going to sleep right now before the final battle against the Snow Fairies. So there's 3 sets of them that we need to defeat. And this time I'm going to use a explosive potion to take all of them out in one turn, so that Megumin preserves her explosion magic. And now surprise boss fight. Here's the Winter Shogun. I'm gonna steal his weapon from him at the start and then use a paralyzing scroll, which paralyzes him for 2 turns, which is just enough for Megumin to prepare her explosion and deal massive damage. It's not gonna take him out just yet. Now we just spam exploding potions at the Shogun and hope that we can kill him before he kills us. And he misses. That's very, very fortunate. And he's dead. So that was the hardest boss battle in the game, and we just nailed it. And he drops another with the Shogun's Katana at the end of the fight. So now we have 2. One that we stole at the start of the fight, and another one he dropped after being killed. So we can sell one for a lot of money, and then equip the other one right here. As you can see, it raises our stats by quite a lot. So now that we have a lot of money, we can use that money to buy some more exploding potions, the most useful item in the game. Gonna buy, I think I should buy 5 paralyzing scrolls, 3 holy waters, and use the rest of the money to buy as many exploding potions as I can. They're gonna be useful against certain bosses. Right, and now that we have the strongest weapon, we can use it to breeze through most of the fights, most of the quests in the game. So this is one of the exceptions. These rats and plants can be very dangerous. So I'm gonna save here and actually use the exploding potions rather than attack them with regular attacks. Because if Kazumi misses, then that means there's a chance that we take some damage, and because we're at a very low level, our defense is not very good. We only have the strongest weapon, we don't have like the strongest armor or anything. So one hit can take out the whole party, really. So I'm gonna be safe here. I should have just taken an easier quest. But, because I usually play on the Japanese version, I'm actually more accustomed to reading Japanese characters, even though I don't speak Japanese. Just how my memory is programmed at this point. So when I see these English names, it takes me a little bit to process the information. So this is one of the regular like Mook quests. There are several like categories of quests in this game. And this is the level 3 Mook quest. So Mooks they come in sets of 5 usually, with the exception of Snow Fairies that you said earlier. They come in sets of 3. But that's like one of the rare exceptions in this game. Most of the Mooks come in sets of 5. Some of them are accompanied by a different type of enemy. So the quest you just saw were imps. They're accompanied by snakes. Skeletons are alone. They're not very strong. They're also level 3. So there are, I think there are 6 levels of quests in this game. So level 6 only unlocks after the end of the main story. So you have to complete the main story first, watch the credits, and then level 6 will unlock. This is level 3, and each level of quest has its own theme. So level 3 is Swampy area. The Snow Fairies quest was level 5, I believe, which has a snowy theme. Orcs, this is a level 6, the strongest Mook in the game, probably. And level 6 has a desert theme. But because we have the strongest weapon in the game, we can just plow through all these Mooks easily. The bosses are going to be harder, but hopefully we don't have too many problems with them either. We're just gonna have to rely on Megumin and our items to beat them. But for regular Mook quests, we can just perform regular attacks. Because we have the strongest sword in the game, which is very powerful. Alright. Sahagin. So this is level 4. Level 4 is at the beach. These are Mooks as well. They're not very strong. I should probably explain the battle system in this game, which is kind of unique. So you can only control the guy on the left there, Kazuma, who gets 2 actions per turn. The girls the other three girls act on their own. Their behavior is automatic, and each of them has a special role. So Aqua, the blue-haired girl, is the healer. She heals and resuscitates dead members. This is one of the boss quests. These giant snakes can actually be kind of dangerous because they can stun. And when Megumin gets stunned, the girl with the hat there, she cannot use her explosion magic because it takes her 2 turns to prepare. And if she gets interrupted while preparing, then it resets and she has to start over. The Megumin's behavior is she can literally just do one thing, which is prepare for 2 turns and then unleash her massive explosion spell on the 3rd turn. And it deals a massive amount of damage, but she can only do it once per day. Oh, deadly scorpions. Probably didn't want to do that. I'm gonna do Lamia. So this is a level 4 boss. The Lamia is protected by this group of Sagakins. I'm gonna have to take them down first. And then fight the Lamia. I'm gonna use an explosive potion for to take out the nukes on her sides first. And then paralyze her, and then let Megumin do her magic. So in these situations, Megumin is very strong because she deals a massive amount of damage in 1 turn. And it can take out a boss very quickly. But again, she just dies. Not really die, but she is rendered like useless after the spell, so she can only do it once per day. And the only way to reset it is to sleep until the next day. But yeah, she's basically a very like specialized DPS of the party. In this game, she's a lot more useful than she is in the anime. Even though she does have some really cool moments in the anime as well. Alright. And Darkness is very simple. She's a tank. The blonde girl on the right there. Ogre. Probably don't want to fight the ogre yet. I'm gonna giant slime. That's the easiest one. This is a level 1 boss. We can just use our regular attacks here because these enemies are not very strong. Oh yeah, Darkness, the blonde girl, right there is our tank. She just absorbs all enemy attacks that target one party member. Everything gets redirected to her until she dies. Multi-target attacks, though, she cannot absorb those. In general, she's pretty useful in some cases. Most of the time, she doesn't really do anything, though. This Scorpion is a level 2 boss, I think. And just dies in 3 hits. Because that's how strong we are. Oh yeah, a very interesting battle system, just doesn't get explored a whole lot in this game. Most of the quests you just spam your regular attacks. And only some bosses require like special strategies, but most of the time the fights end very quickly if you know what you're doing. I think this would have been a very interesting RPG, really, if the developer was given more time to complete the game. I believe Tachi made this in like 3 months or something. Just ridiculously short amount of time to make it like a proper licensed game. This was included, like I mentioned, with the Blu-rays, official Blu-ray release of the first season. And a lot of people were not impressed. The second season actually got another game bundled with the Blu-rays. And that one was much more polished. Right, so these plans are a little bit dangerous. I'm gonna be careful here. The second season game is called, I think, something like Fukatsu no Beldia, which is where the dual hand that we defeated earlier comes back. And that one is kind of like a... I think it's like a Metroidvania of sorts. It's made by Team Ladybug, which you may know from like Toho, Luna Knights, and the recent like Record of the Lotus War Metroidvania game. Yeah, that one is much more polished, probably about a much better speed game than this one. But I haven't played that one, but I have played this one, so this is my specialty. Again, this is not an amazing game, but I probably know more about it than anyone else in the world. So I'm proud of that, at least. And yeah, I'm the only runner of this game as well on the leaderboards. Of all 3 categories that this game has. Items, maybe? Level 5 mooks. These guys are accompanied by skeletons. But we can just use regular attacks. Now that we've leveled up a little bit, we can take out these guys in one hit. You may know Tachi, the developer of this game, by some of his other games. Even though this is like a game he made for a very popular anime series, it's not actually his best known work. If you're into RPG Maker horror games, you may have heard of Hello Hello, which kind of was popular back in the day when like all the biggest YouTubers were doing Let's Plays and their main content was like RPG Maker horror games. Ice trees. Let's do that one. Nope. This one. Thank you. And there's also Hero and Daughter, which is I think it's called Hero and Daughter Plus on Steam. And this is only commercial game aside from this one. It's pretty fun as well. Much more polished than this one, even though the battle system may not be as interesting. I think for the amount of time that the developer had to work on this game, I think they did a very good job at least at implementing like the core concepts of KonoSuba, like the character dynamics and everything, into the gameplay of this game. Like all the roles and functions of the characters are very accurate to the lore of KonoSuba. So I want to give the developer props at least for that. Right, one more. There they are. Jellyfish are level 4, I think. Level 4 mooks. Not too many boss fights so far. I should probably get to them eventually. Cerberus. This one is kind of dangerous. I'm gonna be careful here. And actually use one of my paralyzing scrolls. So Explosion Potion to take out the mooks. Sometimes Aqua just performs like offensive holy magic. It's very spontaneous. But yeah, sometimes it is kind of helpful. In this case, not really, because the bomb would have taken the ghost out anyway. Yeah, this is another case of Megumin being very clutch with her explosion. Pretty much the ace of our team. A ferocious rat. This is probably the most dangerous enemy in the game, like regular enemy. Because they can stun. That is not very nice. Oh, and I'm running out of explosive potions, which is not good. I'm gonna... So yeah. I'm gonna collect some firewood, because I'm running out of exploding potions. Because I need something to take all of these rats out in one turn, because otherwise they're very dangerous. How much firewood do I have? 5. I think that's enough. So yeah, this game has a kind of a interesting skill system. It's like a hidden mechanic, where if you combine certain skills and items, so in this case I'm gonna throw some firewood and then use... Oh, wait, I can't do that yet. I'm gonna escape. I need to learn fire magic first. There we go. It's been a while since I've done this, so haven't had the chance to practice this. So if I learn firewood, if I throw firewood onto a rat and then use fire magic on another, it's gonna activate a special skill which damages all enemies on the screen. Right, and I think I just erased an enemy, so I'm gonna have to sleep to respawn the enemy. Yeah, different combinations of skills can produce different effects. So in this case, firewood plus fire magic is going to result in a firewall, which damages multiple enemies. If you combine water magic with fire magic, it's going to activate a skill called Coffee, which I think it heals the whole party for a little bit of HP. Okay, there's a lot of like cool combinations like that in this game, but most of the time they're not really utilized because there's no need to. Like you can take out most enemies with regular attacks or just items. It's kind of sad because I think it's a really cool mechanic. Especially for an RPG Maker game. Like if you played other RPG Maker games, like RPGs made in RPG Maker, you probably know that most of them don't have very interesting battle systems. But this one actually tries to do something different. So I very much appreciate that in this game. Even though it doesn't have the best execution. I'm gonna need to remember to buy some more explosive potions from this. Right, buy as many as I can. They're gonna be very important against certain bosses because Megumin is very powerful, but she doesn't always take out the boss in one attack. But some of them have more HP than she can deal damage with, so... this one, for example, I think this one will die in one turn. Maybe not. Gonna take out the mooks, paralyze, and then wait for Megumin to unleash her explosion, and it's not quite enough. There we go. So, in some cases, the boss only has a little bit of HP left, so we can just finish them off with regular attacks, but sometimes they have quite a lot of HP left. And it's kind of dangerous. So that is why we need the open kill quest. I thought it already did this. Oh, right. So this is the second strongest boss in the game after Winter Shogun. So this is an example of a boss with a lot of HP. I'm gonna take out the rats with the exploding potion first. Paralyze the ogre. Let Megumin do her thing. It's gonna take a massive chunk of HP from the ogre, but he's still going to have quite a lot left. Which is why I use exploding potions. Because they're the they deal 2000 HP per bomb, and we can use 2 of them per turn. So that's 4,000 per turn. So that's a lot more than we can deal with regular attacks. Cursed Puppet. This is a level 3 boss. Come on. Alright. Let's use an exploding potion, and this one is weak to holy water. Just holy magic in general, and holy water deals massive amount of damage to anyone who is weak to holy damage, so as you can see, that one did like 9999 HP of damage, which is massive. It was enough to take out the puppet in one turn. Some other enemies are not going to be as strong, or not going to be as weak to holy damage, or like they're gonna be equally weak, just have more HP, which is why I'm gonna have to use more than one bottle of holy water. I'm saying some, it's just one other boss. We're gonna fight them later. Hornets are very weak. I'm gonna just use normal attacks, really. Because they're very weak. They're like level 2 nukes. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but there are 2 like regular-ish attacks. One is just attack, which is the command you see at the top of the command list. And another is like a special attack, which consumes just 5 MP. But it's just a little bit stronger than the regular attack, so sometimes it's faster to use that. But sometimes it's not worth like navigating the menu to get to it. 28. So 8 quests left. Aurora Jellyfish is a level 4 boss. So I want to make a mean to preserve her explosion for the boss here, so I'm gonna take these jellyfish out in one turn with a potion, and then paralyze this jellyfish so that Megumin can take it out without problem. How many paralyzing scrolls do I have? 0. That is not good. It's a good thing I remembered, because we still have a few more boss fights. As we're approaching the number 36 there's gonna be fewer and fewer quests that we haven't done yet, so I'm gonna do spiders first. So it's gonna at the end we're gonna have to re-roll quite a lot more, because sometimes we're just gonna get like all quests that we have already done, and we need the ones that we haven't done yet. And again, the quest list is random for each day, so there's like an in-game way to re-roll the list of quests, or you could just reload the save and it's going to regenerate the list all the same, but it's a little bit slower. The quests that we have already done are indicated by build stars, and the one we haven't are hollow. So this one is Armored Knight, one of the strongest bosses in the game. Gonna take out the mooks with an Exploding Potion, and then Paralyze the Knight. He has quite a lot of HP, so Megumi is not going to be able to take him out in one turn. Or I was wrong, apparently. Sorry, I haven't played this game in quite a while, so I don't remember the details very well. Apparently she was strong enough to take out the knight in one turn. I thought I was going to have to use some exploded potions again. Apparently not. Right. The one hollow star there, Slime Kill quest. Oh, this is like a level 1 mook. This is one of the quests I could have done like at the very start of the game, and probably wouldn't have any problems with it. Now that we're really strong, we're not gonna... this is just way too easy right now. I could just unequip the sword we have there and still breeze through these guys. All full stars, which is not good. We only have 4 quests left to do. So there's a hollow star, Minotaur level 6 boss. Another, well, this is probably the 3rd strongest boss in the game. But because we have Megumin on our side and some paralyzed magic scrolls, we're not gonna have too much trouble. This one definitely has more HP than Megumin can deal with, so I'm gonna have to rely on my bombs to finish off the Minotaur there. As you can see, he deals a lot of damage, so we want to have him dead as quick as possible. I believe that was 33rd quest, so we have 3 quests left. We get an undone one right away, so this is level 1 boss. They don't even look like bosses, do they? Just 2 blue slimes and 1 pink one in the middle. Yeah, that's supposed to be a boss. We just use regular attacks against them. This is where the RNG can get a little bit frustrating, because sometimes you just only get quests that you have already done. But here I got lucky, didn't have to reroll too many times to get one I haven't done. This is was it Sly Imp? Yeah, so this is a level 3 boss. It's an imp surrounded by a bunch of moves. And we just take all of them out with one exploding potion. In normal play, if you don't have the strongest weapon, or like if you don't know about the exploding potion and how strong it is, that boss is actually a little bit difficult because you have to deal with so many enemies at the same time. Wow, my RNG is really good. Right, this is the other boss. So this is the final quest. Time is coming up soon. This is the other boss that can be killed quickly with, nope, holy water, not paralyzed coal. Another boss that's very weak to holy damage. So it's just gonna take 2 holy water bottles to take it out, and that's the final quest. Coming up on time. Time is when I save for the final time. And time. There we go. That's KonoSuba in the live. Just to check. I'm gonna go into Town Hall, and 36 out of 36. That's all quests. Yeah. Check the journal. It's gonna say 38, which includes these 2 story quests that we did over the course of the main story. Yeah, that's all quests. There are a few other categories. For example, this place down here is the hunting grounds, which has like its own enemies and bosses. That's a separate category. We don't do that in this category. Here's Yun Yun. You may remember her from the anime. She's like a minor character in the first season. In this game, she's just an Easter egg. Yeah, that's all quests. Thank you for tuning in. I don't think cause I didn't practice for this run very much, so I'm not sure if this was very entertaining. But I hope you enjoyed it regardless.